Hello, everyone. Welcome to the R&B Show. My name is Bruce Colon. Normally, I'm joined by Ron Ben Joseph, my co-host, partner in crime. But for today's video, you're going to just get myself. Every now and then, Ron and I are going to probably shoot the occasional solo video just for the sake of expediency and getting more content out to everyone. And today, I wanted to cover a topic near and dear to my heart. We had the Paul McCartney tour opener on Thursday night in Spokane, Washington. And already there's been a lot of online talk and buzz within the Beatles community. One of the things I really wanted to cover and get into was one of the more hotly contested issues, which is Paul McCartney's concert set list. This has been hotly debated among a few other things which we're going to get into today. Everyone kind of has their dream set list. And I guess the key issue is there really hasn't been much variety in Paul's set list, dating back many, many years. I mean, essentially has been the same 40 songs for like the past, I guess, since 1989 when he resumed serious touring again. So it's one of the things I really wanted to get into here. So I'm going to be referring to notes throughout this. So every now and then you see me glancing down. I have a set of notes here because one of the things I wanted to get into was break down his current concert set list, see what we'd keep, what we'd get rid of, and add in what ideally I would like to see. What would be my dream set list? I know everyone else has their version of it, but I'm going to share mine, and I'd love to hear from all of you as well. So like I said, the current set list has been hotly debated. I was fortunate enough to catch a live stream of Thursday's show. So essentially I was able in real time to see what the set list was, and it was largely predictable for the most part. Paul kind of still playing it safe. And I think it's not just it's the set list, it's also, the same stories, the same stage banter, all of that. So I think people have issue with that. The other issue people talking about is obviously his voice, the quality of his voice. It's been apparent for like the past probably 10 years, the kind of the deteriorating quality of his vocals. It doesn't have the same potency. That's something, it's father time, father time loses to no one. So that's something, I don't necessarily hold against him. It's just one of those things that kind of can't be helped. But it's obvious that certain songs, he's kind of stubbornly still playing in the same key. Certain songs probably should be dropped just because he can't fully pull them off anymore. It's his choice. The third issue that a lot of people are talking about is obviously the exorbitant cost of this tour too. So I know for me personally, I'm opting to not go for all these reasons listed. We'll get into that in a bit. But I guess the main thing I do want to say is that, in all fairness to Paul, he's given us all so much, more than we could have ever dreamed of. So he has the right, in my opinion, to go out in whatever fashion he wants, go out on his terms, whatever they should be. If he wants to go out there, still play the same songs that he's more comfortable with playing, or songs that he sees are, his most popular songs, most crowd-pleasing songs, charge what he wants to for them, seeing that, I guess the value of the legend and all that, that's totally up to him. Just like as fans, we have the choice to opt out. For me personally, I have seen him, I've been blessed to see him 8 times since the 89 tour. And one of my greatest accomplishments in life was, no, not seeing Paul, but the fact that I still fit into this t-shirt all these years later. But it is legitimate. I got it there. I saw him at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, December of 89. First time seeing him, I was blown away. And I count, among the 8 shows that I've seen, I've count many of them among the best shows that I've ever been personally blessed to see. So I thank him for that. So again, I have the right to opt out of it. I will be opting out of this tour, and not just the fact that he's not hitting up Chicago either, but I think for the cost. And I'm content with the memories that I personally have of the shows that I've seen. But for anyone who's choosing to go for the legend, or for younger audience, maybe parents are bringing their kids in who want to see him, be close to the legend, I don't begrudge you. I hope you have fun. But I do want to touch on the set list and go through all the songs that he did on Thursday. And I'm assuming, there'll probably be very little variation going forward. Let you know songs I keep, which songs I would dump. And then we'll take a look at what I would personally like to see added to the set list. I know it's very difficult. It's kind of a tricky thing to pull off because with a stadium show, I know Paul feels like, okay, he's treating this concert as if many people are seeing him for the first time. He's trying to offer the most comprehensive view of his catalog, the songs that he thinks are best or play best in a stadium setting, most crowd pleasing, whatever. It's almost like Paul would have to do what the Stones have done or like what Metallica has done, which is do the occasional club show, after hours show, to give a more, in my opinion, more comprehensive view of his catalog, because obviously this stuff has to lean more on Beatles when you're doing a stadium show and charging what you are for it. But a lot of the wings and solo stuff gets pushed to the backside, and it's a lot of great stuff that's undiscovered or just kind of gathering moth. So yeah, let's get into it. So current set list. What would I keep? What would I dump? Can't Buy Me Love, I would dump that one. Junior's Farm, unless he starts doing the full version of it instead of like this 2-minute version that he's currently been doing and been doing for a while, I would dump that one. Letting Go, I would dump it. It's already been done enough. Got to Get You Into My Life. This is one that I would actually bump up to the top of the set. I would actually open the show with this. He's got the horn section with him, you know, this time around. I think it's a bright, upbeat, quintessential melodic McCartney tune, and it's kind of a message to the audience, you know, kind of get you back into my life, you know, and you know, post-pandemic and all this stuff. So I would bump that up, and there's a reason I think that he made that his tour opener for the '79 UK show. It just works. Come On To Me, I would dump it. Let Me Roll It, I would dump that too. Great song, but it's had its time. You know, I think it's been done consistently for many, many years. Getting Better, I would keep this one. Kind of a bright, uplifting tune. You know, I think it still deserves to be in the set. It hasn't been burned out completely. Women and Wives, off of the more recent McCartney 3. It's actually one of the better tunes on that album. I would keep this because it suits his current vocal register, and it deserves to get the playtime and the exposure to the McCartney 3 album. So I would keep Women and Wives. My Valentine, I would dump it. It's been played enough. Same with 1985, dump that one. Maybe I'm Amazed, I would dump it. Great song, probably his greatest solo song of all time. But vocally, you know, he's struggling with this one, so I would dump this one. I've Just Seen a Face, I would keep it. In Spite of All the Danger, I would keep this one as well. Love Me Do, I would keep it. These past three, I would keep them because vocally they're fairly easy to do. Nothing too straining for his voice. I think he still sounds decent doing those. Dance Tonight, I would dump that one. Blackbird, I think for the significance and for the visual element that it presents in the show, I would keep that one. Here Today, I would dump it. I know it's his Lennon tribute, so I know a lot of people would probably object to that, but I do have a better suggestion later, so there's a reason for that. So dump Here Today. Queenie Eye, dump it. Lady Madonna, that's been done to death, dump that one. For You. Mr. Kite, dump it. He's played it enough. I know it was, you know, kind of cool to hear for the first time, you know, doing it live, showing off the intricate bass runs and pattern, along with singing it vocally. But he's done it enough, so we can move on from that. Something, the tribute to George, I would dump this one as well in favor of another idea that I'm going to present later. Obla Di Obla Da, dump it. It's been done to death. You Never Give Me Your Money / She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. For this tour, I think this is the first time that he's actually doing them in the style of Abbey Road. I know he's done different variations of these. I think he did a solo piano version of it in the 2002 tour of You Never Give Me Your Money. He's done She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, but doing them how they originally were done, I would keep both of these. Get Back, I would keep this only because of the recent documentary and the fact that the tour is, you know, kind of has a theme, Got Back. It's piggybacking off of the Peter Jackson documentary. So I'd say keep it for those reasons. Band on the Run, greatest Wings song of all time, keep it. Let It Be, this one I'm also saying keep, again, for the same reason as Get Back, because of the fact that, again, it's coming off the end of the Get Back documentary, so I know a lot of people would want to see him play this, so I would keep this one. Live and Let Die, probably second greatest Wings song. I would keep this one too, just because it's such a crowd pleaser and a big visual moment with the pyro and all that. So keep it. Hey Jude, if I personally never hear this song again the rest of my life, I'd be satisfied and be happy. But it is a very crowd pleasing come together moment for the stadium and the sing along. So I would keep it for that reason. I've Got a Feeling, great song, but he's done it enough. Dump it. Birthday, dump it. Helter Skelter, dump it. And then for the Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, and the end medley. There's really no better way to cap off McCartney show, so I would say keep those three. You're not going to get it, anything better than that as far as closing off the show. So keep those. So I feel like I've eliminated more than half of his current set list. So how do we fill in as these massive gaps? Here are some suggestions I have. I think it's a list of about 33 songs. Again, not saying that he'd have to do all of them, but I would say among these are a lot of great choices that he can choose from that would really showcase so many other great songs, unsung songs that have really just, been recorded once and then never heard from again. So here's my list. To take advantage of the horn section that he currently has with him, I would say play the following three songs. Take It Away off Tug of War, Arrow Through Me off Back to the Egg, and Stranglehold off Press to Play. For the acoustic middle section, I would say bring back either Every Night or Junk, both of those off of the first McCartney solo album. A beautiful song called Some Days from Flaming Pie. Bring back Bluebird. I know a lot of people would like to hear Bluebird again. In my opinion, one of his greatest solo acoustic songs, buried at the end of McCartney 2, is a song called One of These Days. Would love to hear that one live. Another gem, which is off the new album, Hosanna, beautiful song. And then off of Egypt Station is a song called Confidant, which is a kind of a nice ode to his guitar. Some rockers that you can throw in the mix would be The World Tonight off Flaming Pie, Beware My Love. Again, these are very idealized songs, I guess wishing that he'd be able to kind of sing them vocally. In an ideal world, he'd still be able to pull them off. But again, Beware My Love, I know a lot of people would love to hear that track again. And then for me personally, off of Driving Rain, cool song called About You, kind of has a nice little groove, nice rocker there. Nothing Too Much, Just Out of Sight, off of the Fireman Electric Arguments album. Not a lot of people have heard that track. It has that bluesy, stompy Led Zeppelin feel. Just a great song. Kind of hasn't sung in that Helter Skelter mode for so long. For piano ballads, I would throw in Beautiful Night. Backseat of My Car. I know that's one that would be on a lot of people's idealized set list for Paul. I know Paul also likes his anthemic, feel-good moments. So I would throw in Come On People off of the Off the Ground album. House of Wax off Memory Almost Full. Very haunting, beautiful song. And then another lost gem, Once Upon a Long Ago, which is from 1987. I think it ended up on the All the Best compilation in the UK. Some additional choices that he can go with. Dear Boy off of Ram. With a Little Luck off of 1978's London Town. Bring back this one from Flowers in the Dirt. I don't think he's played it live since 89, 90. Great pop tune of his. And then in a similar vein, this was a Flowers in the Dirt B-side, a song called Back on My Feet, which, I think is another one of his kind of lost gems. So that's really covering a lot of his solo and Wings material. As far as Beatles songs, Paul has really done a lot of his Beatles catalog since the 89-90 tour. There's, not as many tracks there to mine, but there are a few, and these are the ones that I would choose from. Martha My Dear off of the White Album. Lovely Rita off of Sgt. Pepper. I'm Looking Through You, would love to hear that one. Good Day Sunshine, I'm surprised he hasn't really done that one more. I think it's time to bring back Fool on the Hill, one of his best and well-known songs, and I would think really not that straining on his voice. And then a little gem off of Beatles for Sale called What You're Doing. I just always like that song. It just kind of brings back memories of, the early Beatles sound. I think that'd be nice, a kind of a charming one to throw in the mix. Paul's a big storyteller in these shows, so I would say to kind of fill out that vein of it, and also to reclaim some of these great songs that he's written for other people, it'd be nice to throw in, one of these tracks, the following three. A World Without Love, which he gave to Peter and Gordon. A nice track that the Beatles themselves never did. So it's one of his better giveaways. Along with one track that is very well known, Come and Get It, which he gave to the great group Badfinger. And the song Goodbye, which he gave to Mary Hopkin. I think that would be another one, that would be a nice treat for us hardcore fans to hear live. And then finally, for his tributes to John and George, one of the overriding themes in all of the Beatles catalog, and in Paul's solo catalog and John's solo catalog, is the theme of love. So I think what, better track to cover than would John Lennon's song Love. I think hearing Paul do that, it would be very, very poignant and very powerful, and a beautiful tribute to John. In a similar vein for George, instead of the Something tribute that he's been doing on ukulele, I would say do All Things Must Pass. The words, the feel of the song, again, very, very poignant. I think it'd be a beautiful tribute to George. And also kind of piggybacking off of the Peter Jackson documentary, it, got a little bit of play there. So I personally, I think it'd be a wonderful, probably idealized tribute for George. He did do it at the concert for George. I'd love to see it again. So that's it, really. That's my suggestions, but I would love to hear from the Beatles community, all the hardcore fans out there. What would be your idealized set list? What would be the tracks that you'd love to hear? It's kind of a shame because McCartney's social media did kind of reach out to fans and ask what they'd like to hear. I think they did this on the last tour too, and then promptly ignored everyone's fan requests. But I'd love to hear from people, and who knows, if enough of us kind of speak up, maybe there'll be a few of these that actually do make it to this current set list. I'm not assuming necessarily this will be Paul's last tour. A lot of people say that, they've been saying that since 89, 90. Paul's one of these guys, I think he's always seen himself going till he drops, till he can't do it anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised if, this got extended into a fall tour or a tour next year. So I think it's worth more people in the community to just kind of speak up, and not in a kind of a negative way or kind of a hurtful way, but just kind of say, hey, we just love to hear more of your catalog. And I think there's ways that at least some of these songs can be integrated into the mix. But enough of my opinion. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe. Yeah, until next time, everyone, stay well, take care, and we'll see you again soon.